All right, we're back. Another episode of Cloth Talk Podcast. If this is your first time tuning into the pod, make sure you go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. If you are an artist and you want to get your music played right here on the pod, go ahead and send that to clothtalk5 gmail.com. That is once again, that's clothtalk5 at gmail.com. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you probably are like, where the fuck is he at? For people who regularly watch the show. Definitely not in my normal setup. Initially I thought I was getting lined up when I came out here. So
when have I in our years, when have I ever sent you up? The grimiest place you came was the office, nigga. Yeah. There was rats running through the alley that you used to park by, nigga. If you was gonna get got, I got out there. Nigga.
That's the place.
I got out
there. Not out here.
No, God no.
Without giving it away too much, where we're at, it's a very, very nice.
Niggas made it.
Yeah.
I'm proud as fuck. Niggas made it. Do you know?
I'm inspired.
The slaves inspired. Bro, that has to be only 4 generations ago? They could not imagine. These white people have to pretend to be nice to this nigga all the time, yo. That shit's fire, yo. We are from the trenches. That shit is fire.
Right. Shout out to BJ behind the scenes right now.
Yes. Shout out to black people doing the shit that black people been fighting to do, nigga.
Exactly right.
We are doing it, nigga. That is fantastic.
Right. And of course, if y'all been rocking with the pod, no stranger to the show. Y'all seen it plenty of times. Y'all seen it before. Jon Spreez is his name. MC extraordinaire.
I'm their third favorite guest.
Gotta be.
Got to be their third.
They see you and hear your voice quite frequently.
Yeah,
MC extraordinaire, an elder statesman in the Columbus area and surrounding Ohio areas. You're an elder statesman, man. That's something that I think longevity is not easy to do in the field that you're in. It takes constant reinnovation, constant creation. Your mind got to constantly be figuring, how do I top the last shit I did? How do I get better? So I think, as far as I've known you and been listening to your music, that you've exemplified that in many different facets. You got a lot of new things coming out, which we're going to get to in another edition of this, but we're going to kind of talk and break down your latest release, which I don't think we've really sat down and actually done this. Because normally when you drop, you come on the pod and we talk about it.
It's been 2 albums, actually.
2 albums. The last album we sat down, other than the You Got Some Drink series and other pods, what was the last one we sat down and talked in depth about?
It Is Missed.
It Is Missed.
It Is Missed is the last album we talked about.
Sheesh.
That's been a minute.
That was 2018 that came out. 2019 that dropped. And It's Missed.
2018, I want to say.
Because I remember you talk about.
That's the year that 2 came out at once. I think it was Killing Sprees and It's Missed came out the same year.
Yeah, and you telling me that you.
That must have been when I was at my best to you there, because those,
I told
those
you,
two your favorite. Man.
I told you. I think personally for me, Killing Spreezy, I think that's your best writing. I think that is your best writing. All right, man. Let's get into this. Let's break down, and we gotta kind of slow walk it. We're going to transition to talking about that release, but I kind of want to talk about the Higher Plane radio situation, because these things were bubbling and happening at the same time. Yeah. So I remember you coming to me with the idea. It was actually after a podcast. I think it was probably the first You Got Some Drink Part 1. I think it was after that episode.
I think it was right before.
Before that episode.
When you told me about the idea.
Yes.
And I was like, I was going to come over and we was going to chop it up and shit.
Yeah, you told me about the idea you had for the radio thing.
Right.
Yes. Because, you got there mad early before everybody else.
Yep, it was right before
I was
that
still
shit.
cleaning and shit. I was like, oh, shit.
I showed up a few hours before that shit and we chopped that shit up. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So you proceeded to tell me, listen, man, I got this idea. This is the idea I had for years. And he was like, I'm ready to lock in, get this shit going. And he's like, well, I know you the fucking production guy. Help me with this shit. How do I get this shit kicked off? So I was like, yeah, man, I'll roll with you, man. I got you back. So months pass, and the crazy thing is all this is documented. We go on a hunt for interns.
You about to get the what you say, Kanye? You about to have the Genius documentary and your fucking
all this stuff. Like,
no matter what happens at the end of the story, bro, you can flip this shit, nigga. It's about you. Balls in your court, baby. Balls in your court.
I got all the footage.
I got everything, nigga. This is a good, at the very least, this is a good hood movie.
Yes. Speaking of movies, we too early to talk about that. We'll get to that though.
Facts.
But yeah, man. So you told me this idea, and I pull out the camera, and I start documenting the whole journey of you putting together this vision of the idea of the show that you had. So talk about that process of starting Higher Plane Radio while working on the music.
Well, what I will say before we even deep dive is I do have to give you your flowers.
Oh man, appreciate you.
In reality, nobody took that shit really seriously until you took it seriously. Dead ass. Like
really,
I told Jordan about that idea. I probably mentioned it in passing.
Yeah.
Smoking in many sessions because that's what I do. I'm a talker. I'm a speaker.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. But it wasn't until you believed in the project that anybody else was. And Jordan to tell you, you know what I'm saying. He co-produced.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Jordan.
Then he didn't believe in the project for real.
He wasn't sold on it.
You were sold on the project. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
So, you know, it goes to show you that certain people, sometimes people identify you a certain way. You know?
What do you, I'm going to let you finish, because that's interesting. Because, you know, like as far as like your circle of guys you came up with, people that know you best, I haven't known you long as you known those guys.
Facts.
Right, so me and you connected in college, but we never really like hung out and stuff. Like I knew that you rapped and all that stuff.
Right.
But we never like was like, you know, how we are now, like always chopping up, kicking it.
Facts.
So I find it interesting that like no one, like people who actually know you and know how you get down, know how you operate, was kind of like, Spreez don't know about the whole radio thing. And then like you tell me that day, I'm like, yeah. That's cool.
Well, you gotta understand
because I don't have no evidence.
Thank you.
To see like
you gotta understand how time works.
Go ahead, bring it out.
There's a certain level of accountability that has to be had. Ever since anybody that's known me at this particular point has known me, with the exception of blood relatives, I've been a rapper. Matter of fact, there's literally a VHS tape from 1992 of me performing. Playing guitar for my family.
Wow.
I've been a performer my entire life.
Damn.
So anybody that knows me as such. And I've never been bad. You know what I'm saying? I always try to curb on the side of not saying, oh, how great you are, because it's just whack. You let other people tell your legend.
Yes.
But I've never been bad. I ain't naive. You know what I'm saying? I've never been bad at what it is that I do. So when you're good at what it is that you do for a long extended period of time, you got to manifest some fruit. You know what I'm saying? And if we being all the way 100 about it, you know what I'm saying? You could be a local legend all you want to. You know what I'm saying? If we was being realistic, I compare rap to basketball.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I am like a Pee Wee Kirkland, Skip to My Lou. I'm not like a Michael Jordan, LeBron James. If you do this, if you did this here, in the time span of the last damn near 10 years, we've encountered each other, and there's nobody that can front on what it is that I do. Yeah. I'm one of the best that they have ever encountered, hands down. And if they say anything otherwise, it's insecurity. And I don't say that type of shit often, so I don't say it lightly.
You don't get a lot of credit, though.
But that's not something that I need. Do you respect what it is that I do?
Absolutely.
He respects what it is that I do.
Yep.
So that's all that matters to me.
Your peers don't give you that, though. Another MC wouldn't give you that.
They do when they see me. For real.
When you walk away is a different story.
That's cool. It can be whatever. When you walk away, that's like if I pull up on you, and I'm like, "What's up, nigga?" And you like, shit, it's gravy, baby. Right. And then I pull off, and then you tell the homies, yo, fuck that nigga.
Right.
Who cares? It's fuck that nigga when I'm not there. But when I'm here, it's not fuck that nigga. When I come to your event, it's all daps and hugs. It's all the last shit I heard that was hot, baby. Because if you really understand even the technicality, the science of what it is, if you break it down to the rhyming, the syllables, and the complexity of usage of words, you know what I'm saying? The genius of what it is that it takes to do what it is that I do is irrefutable. Mm-hmm. I've been better and I've been worse. You know what I'm saying? There's times that I've been whacked. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first to say it. In recent memory.
You feel like you wasn't at your best.
Absolutely.
What project we talking?
It ain't even a specific. It's not even a specific project. It be song to song or moment to moment. But I've also been blessed enough to have niggas to hold me accountable.
Good. Not a lot of
my niggas is gonna tell me I'm whack.
Right.
The niggas that I still kick it with on a regular basis are comfortable enough, and I'm comfortable enough to hear it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If they say it's whack, I believe them.
You don't get defensive.
No, I do get defensive all the time. Every single time they say it, I get defensive. Absolutely every time they've ever said it to me, I got defensive. But that don't mean that they wasn't right. You or that don't mean that I didn't take certain shit and move with it going forward. Because I don't always do what another nigga say.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I'm an artist.
Yes.
I got to throw paint at the wall.
There you go.
But
you leave yourself open for criticism.
Yeah, but you have to. Because if I can't say that I'm a wise man and not realize that other niggas are capable of wisdom. Because if they're not capable of wisdom, why the fuck is they in my circle? Yeah. The 3 wise men was 3 wise men, nigga. It wasn't 2 wise men and a nigga. That's real shit, though. It was 3 of them, they hung together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Real niggas hung with real niggas.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean that real niggas can't fuck up.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. At one point, it was 12 real niggas in Jesus' squad until it wasn't. Whew. He hung with that nigga for a long time. So for 3 years, that was a real ass nigga. It was just the last year, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah. And that he just actually brought me to a point that I'm going to bring up later when you brought that up. Okay, circling back to the birth of, because we got off track a little bit. The birth of Higher Play Radio.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got us. I'm gonna keep us on.
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah, so going through the journey starting Higher Playing Radio, and you told me after the first season had finished and ended, what your whole vision was with it later on. But before you talk about that, describe that early stages of like you said, we're going to schools, we're trying to find interns, you're trying to find hosts, trying to get the intro, trying to shoot this, trying to get that, cameras, recording equipment, tables, DJ, a whole bunch of
that's real shit.
This is a whole because here's what people don't realize, and I told you this. I was like, listen, because we told me the idea. I was like, listen, man, because I've been doing it. I was like, people think this shit easy. That's right. Right? And I told you, I was like, you gonna find out how hard this shit is.
I actually do remember you saying. You remember? I actually remember it. I can picture it in my head. I do remember you saying it.
We sounds like, listen.
You know the other part that you said that stuck out to me, and it stuck out to me at the last episode. That's when it kept. You know how you see the black movies and you hear the shit ringing in their head. They see the flashbacks and shit.
Oh yeah.
That's what happened the last episode. When, really? You remember when you told me it looked like you upset? I kept hearing you saying this. You was like, when I started my show, I had a co-host. And remember I told you I didn't know that.
I did.
You know what I'm saying? And when you told me that shit, I'm like, my shit ain't wrong. My shit ain't up to be like that.
Fast forward to the last episode.
Hey, I was mad as hell. I was hot, boy.
And you were sitting there with who? A picture of yourself.
No, that's how I started. Let's be real.
People came in and supported you later on, but if it wasn't for those people, remember how I just told you, like, my shit started out with a co-host, and then
the show goes on.
So it went on.
Tell them the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm gonna circle back to how it started because we're off track.
See, we're off track.
But But since you brought us, we got to the law.
We're going to go through.
All right.
We're going to get to the beginning, middle, and end.
Thank you.
Then we're going to get into this project.
Thank you. Redirect the circus.
Yeah. So the beginning stages, like, talk about how that was for you, man, because I seen you was under a lot of pressure and you held yourself to a standard that no one else was holding themselves to around you. You felt like you put a lot on you because you had a very specific vision and you were steadfast on that vision, and I could just see how it wear down on you. But you didn't waver, you didn't give up, you didn't get discouraged. You just like, this shit got, because you had a date in mind, like this day we're launching the first episode, and you was hell bent on meeting that shit, and that was a lot of sleepless nights for you, man. Talk about that.
Well, it's kind of weird, bro, because when I envision shit, you know what I'm saying, I mean, my entire life, I don't never envision it without the people that I love there. You know what I'm saying, some capacity. And everybody, I used to want everybody to rap. I used to try to make everybody fucking rap. That's not everybody's shit.
Hell no.
Everybody don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gift don't lend to that. So, but I've always felt a personal responsibility, and I feel like a failure if I'm not successful to the level of I can put my people in a position where they ain't got to do shit they don't want to do no more. So when I thought about the show, I went to broadcast school. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And when I was going to broadcast school, I took it real serious. So I was listening to all of the morning shows. I used to have the apps and shit on my phone. Oh. So that's how I really started listening to like The Breakfast Club and High 97. I used to listen to motherfuckers every single morning before I went to school. Wow. Because that's what I want to be there. So if I want to be there, then just like when I'm rapping, I'm listening to all these different rappers.
Studying.
Yeah.
Studying the craft.
This is something different. Yep. So I gotta, just cause you like rap don't mean you know how to host it, don't mean you know how to promote it, none of that shit. Those are different skill sets. So if I'm really taking this shit seriously, then I need to study the people I want to be like. Nice. And when I envisioned the Higher Plane radio show from the time that I went to school, as a matter of fact, you brought up Valentine. When I first met this nigga and we first started kicking it, I envisioned having a radio show with this nigga on it. That's crazy. He was never not a part. Like, he may know that, he may not. I tell niggas, I keep it real, so I probably told this nigga, but that don't mean the motherfucker know. Right. That don't mean the motherfucker was listening. But, yeah, wow. I never envisioned doing a radio show without this motherfucker. Wow. I had a radio show when we was in college with a white dude named Miss Justice. And he called me one night acting like a cop trying to buy some weed and shit, and I was like, nah, bro, And then he stopped showing up to school, so I'm like, yeah, he definitely a fed.
Wow. Damn.
Whatever. That's blame the black guy. Hashtag blame the black guy. But anyway, we had good chemistry because most people I can adapt to. If you can have a conversation, I can adapt to you. You know what I'm saying? But we had a good show. We had bits and all of that shit. And then that's when I realized it's something I could really do. So when I met this motherfucker, Valentine always been Valentine. From the time that I've known this motherfucker, he's always been outspoken. He spoke his mind. He keep it real with you. And he funny in a motherfucker. All of that shit is perfect for radio.
So right there, the division right there, he's like, I got the show. I can see it.
But we wasn't YouTube at that point. You know what I'm saying? We was only radio. So by the time we get to us having the conversation we in the YouTube era. You know what I'm saying? So my vision is,
because you was very specific. You told me like, I want to have a DJ, I want to have breaks in music, and you had the whole thing. He's like, when we go to break, I want like the screen to fade to black, and I want the cameras to still be rolling and like seeing like behind the scenes stuff. But and when the show come back, I want the lights to come back. You had it all. I'm like, because he has the whole bitch. I'm like, wow.
I worked at radio stations.
You can see it.
And they, you know what I'm saying, in radio you gotta pay imagery with words.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of set the tone. And if you remember back in the day, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if you had this in Philly, but we used to have the Quiet Storm. You know what I'm saying? And they would play that do 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 do, and it sets the mood. And when the nigga comes on, he sounds like a nigga that just played that song. You know what I'm saying? He's talking to you a certain way, all of that shit.
So the way you envisioned it, when we got to filming, and we'll get to the whole host selection and everything. But like the way you envisioned how you broken it down to me when it came to the production and the filming of it, was it what you thought it would be, or was it like it's close, or was you like this ain't it?
When we first started, it was exactly what I thought it should be at the point when you first started something.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The chemistry was already there. That's why the people were who they were. They wouldn't have agreed to do it in the first place if we didn't have some sort of chemistry.
Right. And let's talk about that, the whole selection process. Because like you said, like, boom, I know who I want my DJ to be. You lock in with VA. So then you told me, like, I want to have the DJ, I want to have a female host, I want to have a guy.
Well, backtrack.
Go ahead.
We agreed. You and I agreed, because I went back and forth on the female host thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you?
Yeah. It was you that solidified that, nah, bro, you right. We need a female host.
Oh.
Before we went to go see the intern, we had that conversation. Before we went up to the school to see about getting an intern for the first time, we had that conversation.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going back and forth because I feel like I don't really need one, but I want that voice and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And he was like, you know what, bro? You right. You need that shit, bro. That's the touch you need, bro. You need that shit.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing that was second to the last thing. Well, technically it was the last thing because before it was DJ Frost. We had a DJ. But everybody heard the liners. Man. I don't hold shit back. Fuck it. Man. Cuz know what he laid down. I love you, bro. I love you because you said yes.
If y'all can hear those takes, man.
But them liners was wild.
Yeah.
Them liners was wild. And if those was a preview of things to come, then the show was doomed before we jumped out the gym.
Yeah, right. And
y'all niggas heard it. I'm not hating on nobody, bro.
I remember.
You heard it, bro.
I remember when you called me over it. Because I think we were supposed to talk about topic ideas or something like that, or like start brainstorming like segment ideas for you, or you want to like show me what you had or whatever.
All right.
And and he was like, "Yo, we got our first submission for a DJ." I was like, "Word!" And I look over and I see Jay's face, Jordan's face,
cause that,
and he like, "Bro,
yeah, let's keep it."
I'm like, "What you talking about?" You're like, "Go ahead and play it."
Let's keep it a buck though.
His face.
3 black men walked into that school.
I was like, "Oh shit!"
And we sat across the desk from another black man.
Yes.
And that black man did not take us seriously.
A man in position.
Let's not cap or sugarcoat whatever the fuck that it was.
Yeah, cause
that nigga ain't take us seriously, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how I know that nigga ain't take us seriously. Twofold. One is when that nigga got on the phone with the white man, he changed the complete vernacular, the way that he spoke to that white man. Do you remember that? He got a phone call in the middle of our meeting. He got a phone. That speaks in volumes in and of itself. He got a phone call in the middle of our meeting that was scheduled for that time.
Picked up the phone while people right.
That's cool. I'm gonna let that be water off a duck's back. I'm a G. That's cool. It is what it is.
The code switch.
But I know when niggas is trying to play me. They trying to my homie me when we handling business. Mm-hmm. I went in there talking to that nigga like we handling business. Yeah. Now, fuck it. The show over. I ain't got to talk like we handling business because I ain't handling no more business with that nigga.
Well, don't say the show's over. It's coming. You bringing it back.
No. But
bringing it back.
You right. But I mean that needing that entity, whole, that shit done. Yeah. I done bossed up past that.
You gotta revisit that.
I don't gotta revisit that. Matter of fact, if I need an intern, I'm gonna call up my little nigga that was with us at the end. The best ability is availability. Absolutely. I'm gonna call that nigga directly and see what the fuck he's doing.
Nice.
And I bet you he'll show the fuck up. Because on some real nigga shit, he showed up every time I needed him to. He may not have did everything that I wanted him to do to the level that I wanted him to do it. Little green. But hey, he was there to learn.
Exactly.
And I may have, as a teacher, put him in a position to swim without floaties before he was capable of it.
Yeah, because it definitely was, you could definitely see that there were periods where he would get overwhelmed. But he communicated like everything. Like he overly communicated.
But shit, let's not let's not front. How old was Cuz? Cuz was about our age. Cuz had to be about our age, but how old would you gauge? Bro had to be in his 30s.
You know what we talking about?
I'm talking about the nigga who was there.
Aaron. Shout out to Aaron.
He had to be in his 30s. I love you, Aaron, but you got to be in your 30s. You're in your 30s. He's in his 30s. So, I'm at the very least, by today, he's definitely 30. He's definitely 30 today.
Right. Wait, hold on. You keep getting off track.
You're laughing like I'm riffing. I'm not riffing, bro.
Hold on. I want to keep us on track.
Okay.
All right. So you're going through the selection process for getting the host. Take us to how you land on the host that you got.
I mean,
your co-host.
Other than knowing Valentine, my first call was gonna be bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I know,
man, but who's behind the scenes right now?
I know BJ gonna show up.
Yeah.
I know if nobody else is gonna show up, my nigga's gonna show up. Cause I hit this nigga with the I need you, bro.
Because let me paint the picture for people. So at this point, weeks have gone by and you haven't landed on nothing. So, and you held yourself to this date. Right. So you like, fuck. And he was like, okay, I know my homie gonna ride with me.
Because what we do on the show is literally what we always do. Yeah. I ain't gotta rehearse that shit. Right. We ain't gotta practice. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? The songs was right on cue. Right. The jokes was right in time. We ain't gotta practice.
Naturally there.
Yeah, that's cool. So I know if the other two, if I was wrong about them, we can carry the show. We can just do what the fuck we been doing for like 12, 13 years.
Right. So you land on BJ. Boom.
Right.
Now it's time to find the female voice. How do we land on Darian?
That was God. Ha! For real.
Go ahead.
For real. I love Darian. For real. And you know why I say it was God? Because we didn't go there looking for her. Matter of fact, you
had another young lady in mind.
There was a chick. I ain't even gonna bring her name up. Yeah, I'm gonna let her do it.
So everybody else's name, but what's her name? That's personal. That's personal.
No. Because we cool, and people tend to take shit a type of way.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I respect that.
And we had the conversation, so she knows. But everybody else ain't gotta know.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? The love is still there. I still got mad respect for what it is that you do.
Nice. No bad things.
Yeah, and people, like you said before we shot, what did you say? People got the tendency to get offended by the things that I say.
Yes, you do, man.
So to nip that shit in the bud.
Yeah, you can go there.
But I gotta
somebody else in mind.
I gotta tell my story as I see it. But you know what I'm saying? I went there looking for a specific person.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And in reality, history should teach you, you know what I'm saying, certain shit ain't gonna work. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Certain shit didn't happen in the past with me and this individual. Nothing spicy, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like some op shit. Like some little teenage op shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That as an adult you can let go, but as a teenager, you know and you're aware of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can move different now. Mm-hmm. I couldn't move that way then. I couldn't fuck with them individuals at that particular time.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Things are different now. So, I saw that she had already had a little thing going.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She already had her own show. Mm-hmm. And the thing that she was super dope at was interviews. Like, she would interview people on her show. Yep. And it was just natural.
Yeah, I remember you showing me her stuff. He was like, look, I'm thinking about her. You showed me her stuff. I was like, yes.
Yeah,
I seen it. I was like, yes. I was like, no brainer, yes.
And I never intended to do interviews myself. You know what I'm saying? I intended, when we originally envisioned this, I intended to be DJ Envy.
Right.
And I'm facilitating everybody else's everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Things played out differently, but you got to do what you got to do. Right. Work out how it's supposed to. So when I was supposed to link with her, and we tried to track her down at one spot. She wasn't there.
Yeah, we all pulled up.
Yeah, they had like a certain event that we were supposed to go to. We had set up to meet with her. Yep. She wasn't at that spot. They ended up being at another spot. But when she wasn't at that spot, I'm like, man, fuck that shit. Yeah. It ain't meant to be. I do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it ain't meant to be. You know what I'm saying? I'll let it go.
You a little too premature to throw things out the window.
Certain times. But
you can stop that shit.
But the fact, but y'all niggas
patient,
y'all niggas being there is what made it meant to be. Because if I was by myself, it wouldn't have been meant to be. Because I'd have peeled out. Y'all niggas was like, nah, let's go to the other spot. Let's see if they over there. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we go over there, they over there. And, you know, when it comes to conversation, I'm a fish in the water. Especially when it come to some black shit. They was talking black shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
they was into it.
I done read enough books. I can talk that what they call that shit, that hotep. I told that my brother nigga shit. So, you know what I'm saying? We did that shit.
So you hop in a little conversation that they had going on.
And there was one, you know what I'm saying? There was one broad that, you know what I'm saying? She was coming with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was Daria. Daria was coming with it.
Daria.
You know what I'm saying? She had relevant shit to say. You know what I'm saying? She spoke up.
Yep.
You know, I have the tendency to dominate conversations. If you can't tell. I have the tendency to dominate conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes certain people to be able to speak you gotta be able to speak up for yourself. Yeah. You gotta be able to hold yourself.
She brought that balance.
Yeah, and like I said, me and him already had a certain rapport. So we gonna do what we gonna do. Yeah. Whether she says anything the entire show, she could be quiet. The whole fucking show, we gonna do what we gonna do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So she gotta be able to chime in. And you know, when I talked to old girl, you know, she was giving me a certain energy, like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, but you know what I'm saying? She ain't about to make no action on it. I'm trying to get this shit, like you said, done at a certain time.
You had the deadline. Yeah.
So it's Daria. I hit Daria up. Turned out she was from Dayton. And I believe in signs. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I believe in signs. Ain't a lot of us out here.
Yes, you do.
So, you know what I'm saying? When that shit, I was like, okay, that's God.
From the same city.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She came through. We did a little interview. Yeah. We had another intern come through. The first intern came through the same day.
Emmanuel.
What was his name? Do. What was his fucking name, bro? Oh, my bro. Oh, my God. Oh.
Man, that's my man.
It wasn't Emmanuel.
Emerald.
Thank you. Emerald. Emerald and Daria came through the same day. My hand was bleeding. I had just burst my hand through a glass candle that day. Still got no feeling in that side of my hand to this day. But yeah, so I'm bleeding all on the table and shit.
Yeah, everybody's there.
Yeah, we having a full-blown conversation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone else knows I'm bleeding everywhere. Nobody says shit.
The meeting just going on.
Nigga. But, yeah, I leave this motherfucker. And I hit her up to confirm she was going to be down to do the show the next week. And she was like, yeah. And that's when she told me that she seen me bleeding all over the table. And I'm like, yo, cuz, why didn't you say something? What kind of bullshit is that?
Because y'all sit right next to each other.
Yes, nigga. Yeah. But I went to the hospital right after that. Left there, went to the hospital, nigga.
Right. But, so right there, cast is there. Boom. So actually, where we at? We have some time. Let's take a. Should we take a break here, or should we just keep going? Because I want to play. I want to play some music.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a quick break right here. We're right here on a special edition of Garage Cloth Talk Podcast.
Yes, sir. What do you want to play? So
yeah, let's play something off
let's
play something off the plane.
Yeah, give me something you want. Should I start? I should probably start towards the beginning.
Yeah, because we come back, we're gonna run through this album. And we're gonna kind of like just talk about the songs, talk about the lyrics, break them down. So I mean, I guess we just got Signature Shot, right?
Let's do Signature
Shot. All right, this is Signature Shot. We'll be right back here with Jon Spreez. Let them know where they can find you at again, of course.
I am Jon Spreez, and you can search that on your Google, JONSPREEZ. I am Jon Spreez on Facebook. I am Spreezy Baby on Instagram. Yo, follow Higher Plane Radio on Instagram as well. Just so A, you know what the fuck we've been talking about this entire time, and B, it lets you know the dope shit that we were doing and the dope shit that we have to come. I've learned a lot from the experiences that we've had, so I intend to do a lot of new things. One thing that I wasn't all the way hip to is the way that language affects the algorithm. So I'm more conscious of that type of shit right now. So I'm gonna say shit a lot less than I said it before. You know what I'm saying? But what's the other shit? See, I said Instagram, Facebook, Jon Spreez everywhere. Jon Spreez on YouTube. Check out The Plane, Spotify, Amazon, Tidal, wherever you listen to your music. We got like 6 albums up now. We're working on a new album, so we're gonna upload some new shit.
Chased by the hands of the clock, got the breath like I'm racing. Complacence can't be the topic, it ain't been an option for Nathan. Forsaken. I heard the gossip and how they would talk about all of the bakers from Dayton. Like any real estate agent to tell you location, location, location. I'm high as the price of inflation. Them crackers been whooping my ass, but this premium gas up the under sensation. Every 3 months on the plane, I'm just like it ready the way I escaped it. Hopped on my Nimbus, took off swinging the stick. Point out them niggas we face and bought like the homie I'm with. Kick it and flip, dipping the shit, power up off the trip. I don't like its vibrations, I rock spots that were vacant. They tell tales on your nigga, hold me down through transformations. Whole nother level, whole nother devil. Maybe it's just the space that we in. All this time cause I've been on my shit. I guess they would do for a win. All this time this bitch been on my dick. You knew he would lose in the end. This world get confusing to men. Depends what you lose in the end. And mammy, I move with the wind. I refuse all inclusion with them. He like the front like it's lose the win. Trying to get fans on the gram. You better pose with some food on the trip. Cancel reward and been fake ever since. Smoking and drinking while thinking of this. Sit on a high horse, I can't even ride. Suspended license, I'm still gonna drive. Gus Mariachi is busting inside. Stupid talk shit and be ducking from God. They poppin' Mufasa, I'm up in the stars. Come open palm, they still throwing stones. Cheeks have been turned and picked up in the squad. Women from Venus and men from Mars. But when we at odds, it feels just like ours. I'm trying to get to those green things, but we been stuck behind those bars. Snow patrol chasing cars, trying to put on for the fam, just like Chico the barge. Another gram, hot damn, just like 3 or 4 the barges. Young harlot be a starlet, hope that letter never turn scarlet. Said you hold me down, you couldn't bother. Now I'm cold shoulder, high collar.
So we can fade away, fade away, fade away. Take you take the pain away, fade away, fade away.
We're back right here on a special edition of Garage Cloth Talk Podcast. That was Signature Shot off the latest release, The Plane from Jon Spreez. Man sitting right here to my right. We're going to break down this album. And later on, you know, a couple of weeks from now, months maybe, by the time the new album come out, we're going to do a part 2. Sit down and talk about that in depth. All right, so earlier we were talking about the whole creation of Higher Plane Radio and how that inception came to life for you, what that process was like, the ups, the downs. Is there anything, before we transition and start talking about The Plane, this album, because like I said, at the same time you're creating this album while simultaneously trying to put a whole radio show together. Before we get into the album, is there anything that you want to mention as far as Higher Plane Radio? Any things that you like, things that you remember, things that you want to talk about from just the process of doing it, things you learned from that whole, you know, experience?
I think even at the time that I was aware, I don't know if
my co-patriots were aware. I don't even know how aware of it that you are. But that particular summer, which is a year removed now,
Wow.
we're going to look back on that summer, and it's going to be one of the better summers of our lives. We're going to really have enjoyed that moment.
You strongly believe that?
I really believe that. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a certain level of freedom that everybody had that going forward we're not going to have anymore. We can't duplicate it. You know what I'm saying? And I was always aware that in that particular time period, I couldn't have done it with anyone else, which is why it didn't continue, you know what I'm saying, as long as it hasn't continued.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a year in July. It was a year ago in July, the last episode.
Damn.
So,
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's August now.
Yeah.
I fully intended to have shit back and jumping, but everything happens how it's supposed to. I had to sit down. I had to recalculate. I had to re-strategize.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Most everybody moved away. Darian moved away.
Yeah.
Before that, Valentine moved away.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be all the way 100 about it, you know what I'm saying? He was a very key. I told you he was the first.
Yeah.
He was a very key component.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he knows how important he was to the show.
He
And sometimes
no clue,
you're not
man.
supposed to know.
And that was your whole design. That's the way you designed
Bro,
it.
I started it with me and him. We were in broadcast school together. You know what I'm saying? They paired us up in a group together the very first day of class.
Wow.
From the time that we started having a conversation, we was on the same page. We knew some of the same niggas, all that shit.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I knew he had a certain level. Like, I got a certain energy about me. You know what I'm saying? But I also have another side of me where I can be docile and shy and close to cuff. You know what I'm saying? This nigga knows how to turn that fire on and keep it on. He's a fire sign.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm an air sign. It's a different type of shit.
Yeah, his presence, like when I was like first around him, like, you know, we're shooting and filming and stuff. Like, I remember like the first day I met him, and it's time for shooting, and like being around him, I was like, this dude has a big presence.
What's crazy about it?
I was like, you feel his presence.
But what's crazy?
I was like, wow. I was like, yeah. I'm like, he's going to be the star of the show.
Everybody in my show, everybody involved in my show has that quality to a certain extent.
Yeah. Everybody had their own thing that they
there's an energy that's irreplaceable with every one of my co-hosts.
Yeah, it was definitely
you know
a
what I'm saying? Which is why
dynamic.
I always felt the type of way when it wasn't there. I knew their value, and I knew how hard I worked around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wrote my shows around them. Yeah. And I didn't want to write all the shows. Yeah. I wanted them to have their own segments. I wanted this to transition and be like the Breakfast Club, which looking back on it, look,
that's how I was getting
it's a year removed. It's a year removed, right?
Yep.
They announced 2 weeks ago that the Breakfast Club is about to be no more. Angela Yee posted it. The window opened for my vision. I was not wrong.
Angela Yee.
We had every single component on our show that they had on theirs, but we was younger. Damn. By 10 years at least. Damn. They talking about shit they ain't been in the streets for. Damn. In a long time. They've been radio people for a long time. We was in the streets yesterday.
You was going to sell a show that way.
That was always the vision.
You had it right
sell
there.
Sell it to a radio show. Matter of fact, I don't want to shit on them or nothing like that. But our stations here, we got 2 hip hop stations. You know what I'm saying? They owned by the same motherfuckers. They owned by the same motherfuckers. Yeah. And they were playing Breakfast Club and shit in the morning.
Yeah, because they're syndicated.
Now they filling in with some local shit. And that's cool. I respect that shit.
Of course.
I respect that shit. But I'm from the era of Paul Strong and Candid and them motherfuckers. And them motherfuckers was a presence. DJ Bubba Biscuits and all them motherfuckers. I remember that. I was outside. I remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when, not to shit on anybody, because some of those people were my co-patriots at my school. We were classmates and all of that shit. So I'd be, that was gross. I'm a real nigga though. It happened. But I was proud. I'm proud to see them in that position.
Of course.
But in the same breath,
it's not coming from a place of hate.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, not at all. In the same breath though, I know what that platform is. Even if it ain't what it was back then. Because radio ain't what it was back then. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah. Most people don't listen to it like they listen to it now. I got Sirius. I hardly ever listen to 107 or 106.
Damn.
I got Sirius. I got Spotify. What the fuck? I'm gonna listen to that shit. I can pick what I want to hear.
True.
And they're gonna play the same shit because they have to.
Program.
So the only thing that's gonna set you apart is who is there behind that microphone.
The personalities.
Who's there behind that microphone is gonna be what makes you listen. Because you're gonna get tired of listening to that Drake Staying Alive 15 times. You gonna get tired of listening to that Lil Baby 15 times a day.
Yeah. So you seen it as people. I'm gonna make people tune in for the personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you was there. All of my people could bubble.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you had.
They just had to learn how to follow the rules of what it is that we was doing. Yeah. None of them had, other than me and Valentine, had the experience, and you had the experience.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? You can't control what a person's gonna do.
Of course.
So, and that's a part of what I never wanted to do. I wanted them to feel like they was having a good time. Yeah. But when you got a mission, it is a job.
Very much so. That's what I was explaining to you in the beginning when you first showed me that idea. I was like, "Listen, this is what you can expect to encounter."
Hold me accountable. Maybe
I was like, okay. I'm like, you gonna see.
Maybe I didn't make the mission statement clear of what I envisioned. But the reason I said what I said earlier about I never had a vision without my people's being on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's always tough though, like, cause like I said, like with my show, like I had a very specific vision. You know, like when I started the whole Cloth Talk shit, and it included another person. Right. So with that, the vision, like you could see it is so clear on the person who's spearheading it, and it comes from their brain. And then you like, yo, I could create a situation for all us to fucking win. Yo, listen to me. I'm gonna break this shit down to y'all. And you kicking game and you like putting people in position like, yo, you're gonna do this, you're good at that, plugging them in. Your strong point is this. You're gonna like you orchestrating, you quarterbacking that shit.
I'm
trying to quarterback that shit, right? And then you like, all right. But then like your tenacity, cause you're so steadfast with it, it can sometimes overlap where everybody else is at, and then they have to catch up. And then because like you're like, yo, I see it, yo, follow me. Everybody's like kind of like they just kind of like pull back, and you're like, why y'all pulling back on me? Like what are we doing, guys? Come on. And then before the person drops off here, another person drops off, and before you know, you're just like, wow. Like, yo, like, this was for y'all. This is for all of, like, nobody see it. Because it's just your vision. It's not everybody else's vision. And then people got different goals in life. People have different passions. Because what's your passion may not be the next person's passion.
That's fact. Yeah. Think about this. Twofold. First and foremost.
Damn, I need some more water.
What would it be like if you only had to work from 5 to noon?
Had the rest of the day.
You got the rest of the day. Not even 5 to noon, because they're not there at fucking noon.
The morning show you're talking, because let's be clear for
they're
people.
There from 5 a.m.
right
to approximately 11 at the latest.
Right. Yeah. So let's be clear for the people who's probably like listening or going to watch this. Like as far as like with that, your position is to be a morning show.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the
key. That's key.
If you know anything about radio, the two key spots on the clock is the morning show.
Pull that mic closer to you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's the morning show when people are going to work, and the afternoon drive.
Those are the two most important spots in radio.
People are
the
listening.
advertisers pay the most for those spots, and they put their premier people in those two spots. Number one though is the morning show because everybody got to go to work. We don't all get off at the same time, but most niggas go to work in the morning.
Motherfuckers
Between
drive.
the hours of, what did I just say, 5 and 10?
Prime time.
Yeah, they only playing music about 5 a.m. But by 6, them niggas was in them
Personalities,
seats.
yeah.
They in them seats.
Yeah.
So from 6 to 10 a.m., you at work. You went to work sometime in that time period. So much so they done loop stories and shit.
Yeah.
But that's your marquee niggas. The
Yeah.
marquee niggas are in the morning. And I always saw everybody I fuck with as marquee niggas. I don't see nobody as no Sunday night drive.
Yeah, like you.
That's where they put the.
You the
that's
low
where they
energy
put the
guy.
nigga. No, that's where they put the nigga that's just warming up. They put him when niggas is asleep.
So he can get his
so he
reps.
can get his nigga.
You
I
didn't
worked
see
at-
like, yo, we
I-
all
I
can hold
worked
our
at-
own.
Yeah, bro. I worked at multiple radio stations at this point. Real legit radio stations. WOSU. I listened to it before. You know what I'm saying? I would listen to the stations I worked at.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm too close, but
I'll keep it in mind.
yeah, I would listen to the niggas that I worked with. I listened to that station all the time.
Yeah.
And there were greats on that station. Shout out to John Whitmire, who retired a long time ago. Reason he stands out, for one, my name John, my wife's last maiden name was Whitmire. We used to listen to this motherfucker together. This nigga never fucked up on the air anytime I ever heard it.
Damn.
Not one time. He was smooth in all his transitions, and classical music is really, 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 really fucking hard to do the radio for because it's thousands of fucking composers, and all of those motherfuckers is foreign.
Damn.
You got to get all of the pronunciations right. You got to know what key and all. He never fucked up. Shout out to John Whitmire. I wanted to be like him. You know what I'm saying? I gave Paul Strong and them niggas they flowers because I heard them first.
Yep.
But as a coming up, you know what I'm saying? I listened to this motherfucker and he was great at what it is that he did because that's a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
You got to be serious all the time. You can't count on this jokey joke shit that I'm doing with you right now. Personality ain't what it is. You got to be on your game.
Absolutely.
And he was always on his game.
That's hard.
He retires.
Yeah.
Everybody else at the station ain't necessarily as smooth as this motherfucker. One of the number one rules in radio is no dead air.
Yeah. Damn.
You catch motherfuckers that be stone cold silence. You know what I'm saying? There's something called savor time, but savor time only lasts a certain amount of time, so you can tell when a nigga fucking up.
Yeah.
Niggas was fucking up. niggas was fucking up. I'm sitting in the car with wifey. I'm like, yeah, he fucking up.
Right.
He's dropping the ball. Somebody about to lose their fucking job. They fuck around and they start a commercial, don't they? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
We need to wrap.
Yeah, okay.
We could do part. Well, we covered a lot.
Yes, we did.
I will ask you for another bottle of water though, if you don't mind. So I will ask you for another bottle of water if you don't mind. Though. Appreciate it. All right, let's hit one more topic, then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
And we could, cause we still gotta go through the whole album, but we'll do the whole album. I mean, you can come through my spot if you want to.
I don't matter. It's up to you.
All right, let's end it on this note. Then we'll wrap. All right, let's cap it off with the Higher Plane Radio. So you told me behind the scenes, and
I'm gonna roll up. I'm multitask.
okay, right. So you told me behind the scenes, off air, that you got plans on bringing Higher Plane Radio back. Now let me ask you this: so is the vision the same? And the part 2 to that, how are you going to go about with the new selection of co-hosts? How do you see that whole thing going? Is Higher Plane Radio going to look different now for you? Is there a different vision, different objective with it? How's the rebranding of Higher Plane Radio going to be when you bring it back?
I'm gonna treat it differently. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that was involved in the original show, you know what I'm saying? Like I said previously, I can't replace these niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like getting a light skin Aunt Viv. That shit, niggas gonna notice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see it, nigga. You're gonna notice.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, you know what I'm saying? I would have to go about it different because everybody that was with me is in a different place in their life.
Yeah.
They can't
come every fucking Saturday or Friday or whatever. And like you said, everybody's dream ain't your dream.
That's right.
And you can't force somebody else's dream to be your dream.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Daria and Valentine moved away. They living their best life.
Yep.
Bro done copped a house. He done had a son.
Yeah.
He doing his big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't impede my shit on what they got and in the same breath be like, I'm proud of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't real.
Yeah, it's definitely
I respect what the season that they're in their life.
Yeah.
So in doing that, I wouldn't try to replace them. I'd just do it differently.
Yeah.
I would make it more of what niggas was trying to say it was in the first place, which is my show.
So we're gonna see something completely different. So
I ain't gonna say it's completely different because
solo show. That's where we're going.
It ain't gonna be solo necessarily.
Guest base. You're gonna bring in people, guest hosts.
I'm gonna do different shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If it's
segments
just me
and stuff,
and maybe one of the homies or whatever. We're gonna make sure that we doing interesting things.
Yeah.
I am still who I am, but I'm more conscious of how YouTube works.
Yep.
I can't do slave poems anymore and expect to get on the algorithm. It doesn't work that way.
Yes.
I didn't know that at the time. I thought you could just be funny and niggas fuck with your shit. But if nobody sees your shit, you could be Richard Pryor. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to play the game.
Yeah. I'm glad you learned these things.
Yeah, I watched. You know what gave it to me? I watched somebody, and I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want to fuck you up. But SUICIDE. Instead of saying that in a show that was a true crime show on YouTube, they had to say unalive themselves. Like we live in some dystopian 1984 shit, and every curse word is like Voldemort, and you can't say that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It was weird as fuck, bro, but it let me know the times that we in.
Right.
So I still gotta play the game. We all gotta play the game.
All right. Is there a projection date that you're looking at
for the show?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that to nobody.
Okay.
Because I got
a lot of things
a
got to work
projection
out.
date on the album, and I gotta make that the priority first.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I met niggas in California, and I gotta stick to that vision before that window closes in my life. Because God only give you a certain amount of time to complete a mission.
Yeah.
I said 33.
Yes,
32.
Woo.
I'll be 33 in June.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And then I gotta move on. I already started writing the book. I got backup plans, nigga.
Dang. Jon Spreez, everybody.
Who wants to live a back? I'm keep it real, nigga.
I love it. All right, this has been another episode, a special edition of Garage
Long
Cloth
as hell to roll that blunt.
Podcast.
That nigga was breaking down that blunt for 10 minutes. His boy said, "Go home."
Right. Y'all still recording.
Shut up and leave.
Right. Shout out to BJ behind the scenes. Been gracious enough to welcome us into his home.
Niggas really love me though.
I showed up. He's like, I don't know where y'all going. Where y'all playing the setup for nothing. So here we are. Let them know again, Spreez, where they can find you at.
Spreezy Baby on Instagram. At Spreezy on Twitter. I ain't say that last time. Jon Spreez on Facebook. You can search JONSPREEZ on Google. I am Googleable. I'm at least 2-3 pages deep now. You just gotta flex. I'm at least 2-3 pages deep on Google. So
right on.
anything you want to hear from whenever to whenever, you can find it wherever you stream your music. Tidal,
nice.
Apple, Amazon, Spotify, etc., etc., etc. I love you. It's been real.
It is. You can sign off. You get better. Go ahead. Sign off.
Oh, are we signing off or are we breaking? Oh, we'll call it a break because we didn't do the.
We'll spice it together.
Yeah. Okay. Signing off.
There it is.
It's your boy Jon Spreez. We did the crossover type of thing. My boy was so gracious to have me on this show again. If y'all tired of me, I'm sorry. If y'all love me, good for him. Good for him. Good for that nigga.
We out. Peace.
Peace.